This is Know Better with your host, Kipper Jones.
Welcome to Know Better with Kipper Jones. I am your host, Kipper Jones, and you are watching A Man Live His Dream. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We got some great guests for you tonight, and we have some very pertinent information. So let's get started. First things first, I just want to tell you that if you haven't already received your census application in the mail, you will be receiving something soon. If you have, please, I implore you to take care of that. Fill out your census information online, which is the easiest way to do it. If you have an internet access, please take care of that. Go online, and request a written form. It's not just your congressional representation and funding for your district, your city, your county, but it's also funding for your school, it's also health care, it's also the roads in your town. But more than that, it's your legacy. As I was telling some other people, my brother and I have been doing some research on Ancestry.com, and almost all of the information that we're finding is from census from years ago. And if you want to leave information for your descendants, please be very, very conscious to go and fill out your census information. It's for your descendants. It's for your legacy. So if you need any more information, 2020census.gov, and you'll be able to get all the information that you need there. But please participate. The more you participate, the more funding, the more representation that you'll have. So please be conscious and do that. Also, you may have noticed that we here in Georgia had our primary elections postponed from March 24th to May 19th. And because of our current state of affairs, the May 19th date may be in jeopardy as well. It may not happen when we have been offered it to happen. So what's been happening, and you may have noticed, you may have gotten something in the mail that says that you can request an absentee ballot. I think that it's from the Secure the Vote. You'll see it, and it's from the Secretary of State's office. And while many of us are still a little tenuous about the Secretary of State's office in the state of Georgia, this is probably going to be our most sure way to make sure that our vote is counted should they still hold the vote or still hold the election for May 19th, or do something else like they're doing in Milwaukee and in Wisconsin, and making people line up to go and vote in this atmosphere when we're supposed to be practicing physical distancing. So should that be the case, make sure that you request an absentee ballot and mail it in, and your ballot will be counted, has to be counted. So if you don't receive something in the mail that looks like what you just saw on the screen, go to the Secretary of State's website, the mvp.sos.gov. Go to that site and request an absentee ballot. These are the things that we have to do to make sure that our vote is counted, and make sure that there aren't any other shenanigans, for lack of a better word, in terms of this election that's coming up. Because worries about the spread of the coronavirus may limit our in-person voting. So our suggestion is fill out and return the absentee ballot application that you've received, and be prepared to vote by mail. We really want you to pay attention to that. All right, thank you so very much. Now, also, on to the recent developments in the coronavirus. As of this afternoon, the United States had 377,792 active cases, with 11,816 fatalities. The state of Georgia alone has 8,818 active cases with 329 fatalities, and that is just as of this afternoon. Truly, this is a war with an invisible enemy. And to tell us more about how this battle is being fought is Dr. Quentin Robinson. An Atlanta native, Dr. Robinson is an infectious disease physician at Absolute Care Medical Center and Pharmacy here in Atlanta. Prior to joining Absolute Care, Dr. Robinson was a consultant and staff physician in infectious diseases and HIV at Baltimore's Healthcare for the Homeless. Dr. Robinson completed his undergrad work at Xavier University of Louisiana, then returned to Atlanta, attending medical school at Morehouse School of Medicine. He completed a residency in internal medicine with Morehouse at Grady Memorial Hospital and served as chief resident. Dr. Robinson has been certified as an HIV specialist by the American Academy of HIV Medicine and a member of the Infectious Disease Society of America. Dr. Robinson is also a member of the Counter Narrative Project, where he and I both serve on the advisory board. Dr. Robinson, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for making yourself available. I know that this is, I don't know, a very crazy time for all of our medical professionals at this point. I think we're calling on them to do far more than their regular duty, and so my hat's off to you, because I know this is crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, healthcare providers definitely are on the front lines. And, the physicians, nurses, respiratory therapists are literally working hours upon hours. In some places, they've even pulled in kind of the reserves. Doctors who've never done general medicine or ICU medicine before are coming to help, especially in places like New York.
Wow, yeah, it's again, my hat's off to you. And it is frontline work. It's you're out there, on the front lines and risking your own health and safety. So thank you again. So I'll just start with this. Our news cycle used to be day to day, then minute to minute, and now with this virus, we seem to be in real time. Yesterday's news is old, but in New York City, they reported 2 days of lower fatalities, but a surge the very next day. So are these indicators of an easing, or are they hopeful indicators? I mean, is that something we can?
So I would say still hold on to hope, but I think, this is probably, for a lack of a better term, the calm before the storm. I think you've heard between the Surgeon General, the CDC director, Dr. Tony Fauci at the National Institutes of Health saying that the next 2 weeks are probably going to be the roughest 2 weeks we see. Primarily, that's going to be because what has happened is, if you've been practicing the physical distancing for the last 2 weeks, in terms of staying away from people, this time has given, those who may not have had symptoms, who may have passed it on to other people, those people who felt fine 2 weeks ago are probably going to start displaying symptoms now. So if you think about the previous 2 to 4 weeks when we really weren't practicing physical and social distancing, and you were just kind of going about your own lives, there was probably a lot of transmission going on. So now that we've kind of slowed down a little bit, and even though the healthcare system is still stressed, you're going to see probably another increase in either cases and or hospitalization. And it's just kind of the way that things lag behind the mitigation and mitigating factors that we put in front of. So things are still going to look worse off. And from our physical distancing now moving towards the end of April, we won't see those effects until we start looking at numbers towards the end of April into May.
Okay. All right.
So don't pay attention too much to the numbers.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we've been tracking numbers. That's, it's just data driven, but
Yeah,
I get it.
it's something you can see, feel, and touch.
Absolutely. Those tangible things. Yes. Yes. Anaga Srikanth recently wrote an article in The Hill displaying how disproportionately blacks are affected by the coronavirus. Now, I got to tell you, and I'm going to admit this right now, I was guilty of the early black immunity theory. No, I was, but I definitely know better now. What role do these disparities play in diagnosis and treatment?
So I think that it's an interesting conversation, and I would say I'm somewhat of a cynic now. Those healthcare disparities for African Americans have always existed in healthcare. So this is not necessarily something new. You know, what I think, COVID-19 and the coronavirus has uncovered is that because we're talking about it every day, for those people who have not necessarily been paying attention to healthcare disparities, this is kind of the new thing for them. But these healthcare disparities have always existed. So there's really nothing different about it. We talk about how, African Americans are disproportionately affected by hypertension, diabetes, and obesity. And we know those are some of the same comorbidities that can make coronavirus worse. So just by science alone, African Americans have a disparity in those diseases. So if coronavirus has a predisposition to make those diseases worse, African Americans are going to have a worse outcome. But it's just kind of uncovering how broken the American healthcare system is. And that's kind of the concern that I have, that there's nothing special about the coronavirus in African Americans and disparities. It's healthcare disparities in general.
Well, well said, sir. I kind of felt like that too. I'm like, well, you could say that probably about any sort of other medical situation, because of the nature of our healthcare system, and the nature of these disparities as they exist in our day-to-day walk. So yeah, thank you for kind of confirming what I've kind of felt anyway. Yeah,
It's a chance to challenge the healthcare system and challenge other physicians to pay attention to the differences in how African Americans access healthcare, and then how they're treated when they're actually in the healthcare system. I think those are the things that, this is kind of uncovered.
So that kind of leads me to my next question. I was going to gloss over it, but because you said that, so how important is racial data in shaping policy in that regard?
I think it's key. I definitely criticize the CDC and the federal government in that data wasn't captured in the beginning. They're definitely starting to look at it now, but for me, that information is there. They can go and retrospectively look at it, but the coronavirus is so new. They were just trying to get as much information as possible about anything. And now that we're starting to see these disparities, it's an opportunity to go and look deeper into it and see kind of, hey, Detroit as an example, you're seeing the amount of, African Americans that are affected in Detroit. What about Detroit's healthcare system? Looking at, Wisconsin, and looking at what's going on in Milwaukee and the number of African Americans that are disproportionately affected. What's different about their access to care? And then even California, looking at where the epidemic is in California, where you have a higher rate of positive tests in Orange County and Beverly Hills, but if you look in other parts of LA, is it because those people have access to the test, and that's why you have that information? So access to healthcare is definitely something important. So going forward, we definitely need to look at it.
Okay, so two more things. One, and you just touched on testing. So what are I don't really even know anybody who's had a COVID test. I do not personally. I know a lot of people, but I don't know.
You know what? Tonight I had one. So.
Okay, well I know one. Okay, great. And you're a medical professional, so you probably have a greater access. I don't know if that could be the truth, but so what should we expect? What are the costs of a COVID test, of COVID testing, and since some carriers are asymptomatic, as our governor just recently found out, evidently, how can we get tested?
So that's a two-sided question. One, technically, the cost of the test at least according to the federal government, should be free. So a person getting the test should not incur any cost for the test. However, there may be costs associated with accessing healthcare. In terms of if you go to a clinic, you go to a private physician, there may be some issues in terms of some costs that are kind of not necessarily hidden, that aren't necessarily talked about. But the test itself should be free. I can't give you a quote on if anyone is charging. I don't know what they're charging for the test itself. So that's one. The second part of the question is in terms of who can get tested and how. Currently, because there's such a huge panic and there are symptoms and symptoms of the disease, but it's also allergy season, it's the tail end of flu season. It's kind of like, who do you choose to get tested? So right now, the people who are getting tested are people who have symptoms. So, a fever, cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, those persons are getting tested. The state of Georgia actually has priority on hospitalized patients. So people who either present to the emergency room or who are in the hospital and you suspect them of having COVID-19, they are going to get priority testing as opposed to someone on the street. The other part is, CVS has teamed up with Georgia Tech. They're doing same-day testing in terms of drive-through testing. You go to cvs.com and their Minute Clinic, and you answer a couple of questions, and it'll let you know if you qualify for drive-through testing. Again, it's based upon symptoms. If you have a known contact with someone who has COVID-19, and then healthcare workers who are working in a setting where they may be exposed will have priority. Unfortunately, if you are not having symptoms, you're not going to be prioritized in terms of testing, primarily because there's no intervention other than having that knowledge. And so having the knowledge that you're asymptomatically carrying COVID-19 really shouldn't change any of your current behavior, because you should be practicing social distancing. You should be washing your hands frequently. The CDC over the weekend came out with the voluntary recommendation of wearing cloth face coverings to decrease that asymptomatic spread. So if you don't have symptoms, there's no benefit to you getting tested other than self-isolating. So that is definitely a gray area. I think once we have a situation where we can have access to testing and tests aren't necessarily being rationed, and we have a good supply, then you can look at testing those who are asymptomatic. But right now, they really don't have priority.
Got it. So, Dr. Robinson, thank you so very much, man. I really appreciate it. I want to, before you go, what is just some of the tips for getting through this period of isolation, the whole physical distancing thing? Just something you want to leave us with.
Just find out new ways to connect with people. I think we have access to a lot of different technology, but there are so many different ways to connect, either virtually, there's telephones, everyone either has a smartphone, you can FaceTime, or, if you find yourself getting drifted away, find a hobby. Letter writing is a great way for that person who lives so far away that you feel that you want to see. Actually a good old-fashioned handwritten letter may be a good way to kind of, reconnect with people.
How about it? That's very cool. Dr. Quentin Robinson, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
You as well. We're praying for you and all the others out there on the front line, man.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you. All right, my Know Better folks, we're going to take a break and come back with our next guest in a moment. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching Know Better with Kipper Jones. Welcome back. So, our next guest needs no introduction, but he's going to get one anyway. He came into our consciousness on the Ed McMahon-hosted Star Search. He was Coach Walter Oakes on A Different World. He starred in the critically acclaimed Sinbad show on Fox, starred in a number of hugely popular award-winning stand-up specials on HBO, hosted Showtime at the Apollo, Vibe, and even the 2000 Miss Universe pageant, which I really didn't remember. He's an author, a philanthropist, and he's my brother and he's my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, so we're not here all night, Sinbad.
Excuse me, I'm trying to hide my identity. I got people looking for me. You just messed that up.
Oh.
I got folks looking for me, man.
I could have called you by another name, but
I know. I wish you had it as like the Dark White Chronicle.
You did.
I know now. I guess they'll find out where I'm at.
I could have shouted out Memphis Red, but I didn't know.
Brothers are trying to keep identity. You know what? Too late now, man. Too late. You just destroyed my life.
I'm so sorry, bro. I owe you one.
My life. I just want you to know that, man.
Yeah, I owe you. I'll get you on the next round.
Oh, I'll be dead by then. I'll be dead.
Hey, listen, I'm supposed to be interviewing you. So.
Okay, interview me, man.
Okay, so here.
I'm a dead man anyway. So go ahead and,
this is going to be hard.
Interview me, man.
So, okay.
Man, you got a nice desk, man. Look at you. Your stuff looks so cool.
I'm trying, man. You know, they got me hooked up over here.
Hold up, man. That ain't right. Hold up, man. I think, man, hold up. That's jacked up, man.
I'm gonna get you a nice, cool background like this. You're gonna, I could.
All right. I'm on the beach now.
Oh, there you go. See, there you go. Nah, there you go.
What's up, man?
That's how you get it.
It's warm out here. How you doing, man?
Cool. See, that's what I'm talking about. You gotta really know how to work that thing.
Yeah, man.
All right. So listen, you about answered my first question at the flies.
Bugs out here.
Yeah, I get it. The buzzards.
Yeah.
So what has quarantine looked like for you?
Good. At first I was like, oh man, you first go to that thing, hey, I'm not gonna be on the road, not gonna be making money and all that. Then you realize, you know what, this is a chance to enjoy, some of my life. I got a new grandson out here, and I'm getting a chance to hang out with him. I got my family. I'm home, dude. I'm home for the first time in a long, long time, bro.
That's got to be incredible.
Yeah.
Sinbad's got a grandbaby.
Yeah, man. Can you do the trip, man? That's the trip, bro.
Man, please take pictures because I got to see this.
I will, man. If I known, I would have shared some of the media with you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Something that we kind of chatted about earlier. Oh, no, I'm not supposed to be touching my face. I'm sorry. There were some incidences because this technology that we're using is this conferencing technology, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Zoom in particular, because that's what we're using tonight.
Yeah.
So they've had these incidences of folks crashing the party, so to speak.
Yeah, man, Zoom busters, Zoom buys, they come in, what they're doing, most of it's racial. Of course, that's where they got to go. The most natural place to go is being racist with it. Because Zoom was made with just for teachers. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I was working with Zoom, and I was like, hey, I was taking music lessons with Zoom. But at that time, Zoom was a different price. I said, y'all got to make a price point for the regular person. So now, because of this, they have that price point. There's another company was called, I'm not going to say the name because Zoom might get mad. There's another company out there that could have jumped on it. Now they might be going bankrupt because they didn't see it. So companies like Zoom, Instagram, going live, some of these companies are really, finding out there's a strength in this. So yeah, they're doing with Zoom, Zoom busting, whatever they call it, where they come in and just jump in rude. That's why you should have a password now. You set up a meeting in Zoom. If they have a password, they can't get the key to get in. Because they get the key to get in. If you're recording for a company, they can take the file.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like any other hacking kind of model.
Yeah, but beyond, because no one was thinking about this. No one was thinking about, everybody was thinking, who the hell wants to hack a Zoom meeting? And there's a lot of lonely people out there. Let me just tell you, there's some lonely folks out there. They have nothing else to do, just lonely people.
Evidently.
Hacking stuff.
So, to your point, and I'm not sure a lot of people know, but you've worked very closely with like Apple.
Yes.
You had a very close connection with them. You want to talk about that?
Well, I was an Apple master at one time. I used to go to all the, when you used to call the Apple Care, that was my voice. They did the voicemail for it. I was an Apple man since like, 1983, 84. My son, that's why I had my son, all addicted to Apple, man. So he's my evil genius. He's the one that tests all the software when we go live stream it and everything. But Apple was, not that, hey, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I look at what works best for what you're trying to do. Where's the synergy? So your phone connects to your iPad, connects to your computer. So for me, it worked best for me out of all the things that are out there.
I still have an Android phone. I'm gonna tell you that now. But when it comes to
What? You got a what?
I can't with you, dude.
Yeah.
So, well, I do. I mean, hey,
Know what? If it works for you, because everybody can't be cool.
Oh wow!
It's not for everybody.
Did you just Apple shame me?
I Apple shamed you, bro. But you know what, man? I'm like this. Everything has a place, whether you're using an iPad or Microsoft Touch, because a Surface, if you're an artist, it works. I say, find out what works for you. Also, find out what you can afford, because that's what the day has come down to.
Right.
Because these phones, with the new 12 coming out, it's going to be insane. But that phone's going to be a beast.
I use now, the reason why I started with the Android phone is because when it comes to my computer technology, though, it's always just been Apple. Because, I mean, whether you're using music software or graphic design software, for me, I use Pro Tools, Photoshop. I even use Logic, of course. So all of my platforms that I use like that, it's got to be Apple for me. So it's been a MacBook Pro for, 15 years.
So what made you decide to go for the cousin?
I just got stuck early on using the Android phone, and I'm gonna Apple shame you. They actually take better pictures. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not with the 11 Pro.
But see, who can afford that though? See, you're Sinbad.
That's what I said. If you can't, no. And be honest with you, they didn't take better pictures after the 9. Their screen is brighter. They pushed the brightness. I want you to look at the actual picture, not this picture looking on your phone. Look at the actual picture come out. A lot of my friends fell for that, because the screen was full up bright. It was a nice display. Why do you think all these artists, why do everybody think about everybody's using Apple for all the artists, all the photographers? That's what it does best.
Man, I have seen music videos done on iPhone that are just absolutely incredible.
Dude, you've seen movies.
Yeah, movies, yeah.
Movies, bro.
Yeah.
Show me the Android movie.
Hey, come on, man. Why you do it?
I'm just because you said the wrong thing. You just tried to claim something that wasn't true, and I just had to stop that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I got somebody else who says a lot of untrue things. I wish you would go talk to him. But that's a whole other conversation.
Oh, he can't be helped. He can't use a phone. He can't use a pay phone. He can't use a phone that rings at your house. He can't use anything. Nothing.
Oh my goodness! And we just found out today that that medicine that he's been pushing, that malaria vaccine, that he owns stock in the company.
Oh yeah, he bought stock in the company. Well, look at the senator, her and her husband. They sold off stock after they had a big meeting. They sold stock for the stock market drop.
Oh, she's the senator here.
They bought companies. Yeah, they bought companies with the PPA. So the personal protection. They bought those kind of stuff. They have invested in and dropped things. It's insider trading, but ain't nobody gonna do that because it's a cult. His people ain't followers. His people, it's Jim Jones, man.
It is. It really is.
They're about to go to the woods. They out there going to church, and all of them got sick. They started hanging out in clubs, got sick. To prove, my thing is this: to prove that they follow him, they put their life in danger. That's a cult, bro.
That is a cult, plain and simple. Plain and simple.
If I'm gonna follow a cult, my leader got to be in shape.
He's a shape. He's round.
He got to be one color. He got to pick a color and stay that color.
Oh my Lord! And that round shape joke. I'm sorry, I got to give Trey Gilbert credit for that because that wasn't mine. He said round is a shape.
It is a shape, brother, and it goes nowhere. It just keeps continuing. It continues and it continues. and it
Good
continues.
Lord. Yeah,
There's no end
that's
point.
that senator that you spoke of, and two of them actually, Kelly Loeffler
And her husband.
and David Perdue are both
Okay, yeah.
senators from here in Georgia.
Wow.
Absolutely. And to your point, Kelly Loeffler's husband is president of the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah,
She
he
should
does
not
good.
even be able to hold an office, an elected office, because you're already compromised. That's a conflict of interest, I would assume.
But Trump changed that. Remember Trump, when he didn't get rid of his businesses, everybody watched and said, wait a minute, is he going to just do this and no one's going to do anything? So a lot of people just watched what he was going to do, his people, and said, wait a minute, we don't have to follow rules. Was it the Georgia governor or mayor? I don't know. Remember when tried to drive to Florida? He got the virus and tried to drive to his community in Florida, and the police met him and said, nah, you ain't getting my people sick. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I guess like you said, they follow the leader. If that's the modus operandi, then that's what they're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
So wow, that's a little spooky. But
Yeah, it's spooky, man. But you know what though? But I think we're about to clear house with this. It's a shame that people are dying. It's a shame that even the stimulus bill, they said it might be 4 to 5, 6 weeks. They just fired the person who's in charge of the stimulus bill.
yeah,
He just fired him today.
yeah, I saw that. It's amazing what he's allowed to just get away with.
Yeah.
We went through a whole series of impeachment hearings, the whole impeachment process. He's the first president to actually be impeached and just sit there like nothing ever happened.
But you know his time is coming. That's what I love. Sometimes it takes drastic measures.
Yes.
We have a crazy king, and that's what's going to happen right now. His own people are going to start getting hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's plus I want him to follow the course. Don't wash his hands, touch his face, go outside. I want him to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I want him to go visit hospitals. I want him to go visit hospitals
With
and,
no
and
mask.
sit with people.
Yeah. With no mask on. Don't wear a mask.
No mask on. Yes.
He said he's not going to wear one anyway, right?
He shouldn't. There's no mask for that face.
Okay, let's talk music.
All right.
Let's talk music. When is Memphis Red coming back to Atlanta so I can get on stage again?
Man, we got. You know what? It's funny. I'm sitting here. I'm taking this time, Kipper, to actually get better on different instruments. I'm trying to know how to play keys right now. I got back sax and trombone. Those brass instruments and woodwind. They're kind of hard, man. So now I got a little time to put some time into it. Plus, how many instruments can you carry on the road and through an airport with you? I had a bass one arm. I had a guitar. I can't. I'm too old. My back is starting to heal up because I'm not on the road.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a situation. But
We're gonna start a music minute next week. I'm gonna be doing a music minute where I show people me trying to learn how to play music, and then my daughter who sings. I'm trying to convince her to get online with her music and just doing some stuff.
yeah, man. So Paige, she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
Where can we find her music too? Because I want to make sure the people know.
Check Paige Bryan, Bryan, Paige Bryan, and on every medium out there. And also she has a new, a web series called Life and Times, of a singer Angelou, which is really her and her brother and my wife got a production company, Storeheart Productions. I'm there, but they're the ones running it right now. So they're just doing such a great job. And they're producing their own stuff. My son, Royce, is writing his own stuff and making stuff happen. So I think out of this period will come some really creative stuff.
I agree with you, man. I've been able to use this time to do that, to reinvest creatively.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's what people have to look more at. This is actually to your benefit if you can use it that way. See the best of it.
If you don't see the darkness, I tell people, man, don't fear the darkness. Don't curse the darkness. Some people curse the darkness. I'm like this. Hey, man, we've got 4 other senses. Use them. Use them.
Yeah.
Because the light will come back on. And when the light comes back on, those who are ready are going to come flying out this tunnel. While the other people are like, oh my God, light's on. And they're going to try to go back to life like it used to be. I don't think there's ever going to be a used to be.
That's what that was you read right into my next question. What does normal, quote unquote, look like from here?
We don't know what normal looks like from here. It goes to another place. In fact, created right.
Oh.
The new normal is being created right now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, I think you're going to see more of people talking to the audience directly. I'm getting ready to try in the next couple of weeks. I'm looking at some other software to actually do a live stand-up show, but not live like you can't stand on stage. There's no audience there. A lot of these young comics, I see them trying to do Instagram live, and you ain't talking about it, you screaming and hollering. I said, but old heads, and those who know how to have a conversation and talk to people like I did on stage, that works for me. I can sit and have my fans, like even sitting here talking to you, it's almost becoming to more of an interview sit-down type situation. Where you're hanging out in a small club, like a small club, people kind of hanging with you and you're talking to them.
More of a conversation.
So I more of a conversation, and artists and musicians are going to find a way. You don't have to, man, how am I going to perform? We might have to have the band do. If it now behooves you, if you can play an instrument or something, man, start putting some of your stuff up. I was listening to Jubu was saying, now I can put my country stuff up that I like, or I can put my R&B stuff up I like. You don't have to be one thing anymore.
How about it? How about it?
You know?
Yeah.
And now you find your real fans, because your real fans will come. The good thing about us who are in the talent group, there's the social media influencers, and they had their run, but now you're competing with real talent because everybody's out of work.
How about
So now the real talent's online too. So it don't take long to catch up on the technology. It don't take long. So we're going to see different people shine.
Yeah, I think it's again kind of taking the wool off, or the sheep's clothing, or whatever you want to call it, because now you have to really be something. It's not like you can just hide behind technology, behind your voice, or any of those kinds of things. You know, whatever it is that you claim to be, you're going to have to really be that now.
Because that real thing is coming at you.
Yeah.
That real thing is coming back. I mean, I was sitting in the living room and my son's wife was looking at her. And it's the first time she really was online talking to somebody. It was the first time that her, actually, you know, because she doesn't do much, I don't think, interaction on social media. But now it's called Girls with Guitars. And they talk about guitars and what kind of guitars you like, playing music. I said, so it's forcing people who usually didn't talk to people, realizing, hey, man, I've got to sit down and talk to folks now.
Yeah, you got to engage now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of her, it was awesome. Today, a friend of mine sent me a collaboration of her and Tori Kelly, whom I absolutely adore.
Oh, I love her. Man.
But Tori Kelly and her did a version of Brandy's "Broken Hearted."
No.
Yeah, and somebody sent it to me like, Uncle Kipper, you got to hear this. And I was like, oh, wow, this is incredible. And then just last week, Wanye Morris from Boys to Men, his kids, he's got boys, 4 boys, called Juan Moore, and they were doing Broken Hearted. And I'm like, wait a minute, man, this song that Keith and I wrote like 25 years ago is just taking on a whole new life, you know.
Well, tell them, because what happens now, there's collabs and things being done, and you should even put some of your stuff up. I think now people can put stems up. Hey, man, somebody help me remix this. What would you do with this now? Now the door opens.
Yeah.
It opens wide. The door has been kicked open.
Yeah, absolutely. I have some friends here in town, man. Michael Burton, Trey Gilbert, Lil John Roberts, drummer.
Yeah.
Lil John and Phil Davis, keyboard player. They did a thing last Sunday called The Message, a new direction on traditional hymns. And they did it last Sunday. Like people ain't go to church and everything.
Yeah,
so they did this very Coltrane-esque take on Great is Thy Faithfulness and Blessed Assurance, and it was straight ahead. It was so incredible. But again, because they're incredible musicians, then you can take that incredible talent and get that engagement and go straight ahead, go right to the people, you know.
Man, you know a musician is bored when he's remixing gospel tunes as Coltrane.
Hey.
We gotta get these brothers out the house.
Hey, man, it was so good. It was so good. I tell you. Yeah, man.
And now I'll tell you when we get offline, I'll send you some stuff. I found 2 pieces of software. The Holy Grail was, how can 2 or 3 performers musicians be in different locations and play music and know that latency, that little lag time?
Yes.
Found a way to defeat the lag, man.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ah, yes.
You defeat the lag. You defeat the lag by not fighting the lag. Because when you're playing, you're always one measure behind. But since everybody's hearing the same one measure behind, you're actually on time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they're doing it through, you send it to one central server, and everybody's playing, they got, your hookups, your interface, but it goes to a central server, whoever's got the server with the group, and that's the one that goes out online. So people are hearing the thing that's in time. Although it's one measure behind, nobody knows that, because everybody's one measure behind.
Right, if everybody's there.
Thank
Yeah. Wow.
So everybody's hearing the same thing.
Amazing. That's amazing. When is Memphis Red gonna be doing a record soon?
Memphis Red's gonna do a record. It's called If It Ain't Funky, I Don't Want It. Memphis Red is also gonna be doing music lessons. He doesn't like children, but he's gonna try to teach them anyway to make some money during this period of time. He's probably the world's worst guitar teacher.
Is that pimping kids?
Theory. He doesn't know any theory, and he loses patience.
Is that pimping the kids, brother?
Yes, he does. And Memphis Red will pimp anything. He don't care. He don't care, man. He ain't got no shame. Memphis Red got 100 rolls of toilet tissue in his garage.
And the people can't find none.
No.
Oh, wow. That's
He
terrible.
rides around this Cadillac talking about, who wants this? And then he sells it to him. He ain't right, but he ain't wrong.
This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible.
Hey, he believes in commerce.
Man. all I know is I want a song on his album.
Oh, man, you got to do this, bro. We got to. We got to.
So listen, man. To the people that are just tuning in, I'm interviewing. Am I allowed to say your name now? I guess we.
Oh man, hold up. You can say it now.
Okay.
Say it now.
The artist formerly known as Sinbad. See, he's not. It's kind of there, kind of not.
Yeah, that way, you can't prove I was here.
Right, exactly.
You just dropping my name.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
on the beach. I'm on the beach.
And that way I'm not complicit.
Yes.
So, this is absolutely crazy. So listen, man, first of all, I want everybody to know, this interview for me is the culmination of like a full circle moment, if you want to say.
Yeah, we go full circle, man.
I just want to share with the people, man, that I've known this guy probably longer than I've known a lot of people in my own family, because he is my family.
You knew me before I was even doing comedy. I was watching you guys in the group Tees. Now, it's funny. Check this out. Ali Brown, who's managed you, is now my son's father-in-law.
Right, y'all are in-laws now.
Yeah, ain't that crazy, man?
We talk about full circle.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Every once in a while, I can't let nobody know who I am.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Gotta stay out, man. I'm trying to stay out here, bro.
Hey, listen, I got something I want to do. Let's see. I'm gonna ask my producer a question. You got that timer up there?
Which timer?
Okay, so listen. There's this little game we like to play.
Okay, let me get my time. I don't see that. Should I be able to see a timer?
No. We got the timer over here.
Okay, man, because I have an iPhone. We have timers on the iPhone, so I was gonna bring my timer up if that was needed. If you want me to do that, I have the stopwatch.
That's why right there. That right there. That's why. So in my very cool Spalding NBA notebook right here, I have.
I have one of those, man.
You got
I have one of those. I kept all my jokes in, man.
Did you get it from the All-Star game?
I don't know where I got that from. It might have been in the package.
Yeah,
the All-Star game.
I think it was in the package from the All-Star game.
Wow.
Yep. So I still got mine. So
okay.
So in my handy little NBA folder here, I have these questions from a game we like to call Think Fast.
Okay.
Now, you got 60 seconds.
Okay, let me know when we start. I'll put my timer on.
We got our own timer, sir.
I don't see it.
You gonna see it.
I don't see it now.
You go.
It could be a lie. How do I know it's not a lie?
Why would I ever lie to you, bro? You my bro.
Uh-oh. Oh, where we go, man?
I would never lie to
Did
you.
you-
So,
Am I gone?
huh? No, you'll
I
see it.
gone?
You're gonna see it. No, you're still there.
I'm still there?
You're still there.
I'm still there? Because I can't see me.
Well,
I don't know what just happened, man.
I don't know. We gonna get you.
But you can see me, right?
I can see you. I can't miss you.
All right, I don't know what, dude. I don't know what it just did here, and I'm scared to refresh it. I'm not going to.
No, don't refresh it. You stay right there.
So if you can see me, I'm gonna stay like this, man.
Okay, you stay right there. Don't move. You can hear me?
I can hear you, man.
Okay. Well, then we about to
I
go.
don't know why it's doing this, man.
All right. My producer's name is Yannette. Yannette, say hey.
Hey, Yannette, what's up?
All right. So we about to hit it. You ready? Net, you tell me. Ready? And go.
I can't see the time. I got mine going.
Here we go.
I got mine on.
Okay.
I got mine on.
What was the first concert you went to and when?
First I went to see Johnny Guitar Watson and Sheldon Champagne King was 16 years old opening for him.
Okay. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is...
My name is Hove, H to the O-V.
Mac or PC?
Man, please, next question.
Best barbecue in LA?
Oh, man, you know what? I'm not a big LA barbecue man. Ain't that the trip?
Come on, man.
So I go to Rosie's for the sauce.
Okay. Favorite Maze song?
Happy Feeling.
Favorite Rolling Stone song?
What was gonna be like? What's the one? Can't always get what you want. Get what you need.
Wine, red or white?
I don't drink.
That's it, bro.
Cool, man.
That was it.
Cool.
Sinbad does think fast on Know Better with Kipper Jones.
You know that, man. Ain't that why I'm doing this interview and I can't even see me? I don't even know where the window went. Ain't that crazy?
I didn't even get to ask this one question that I was really wanting to get the answer to.
Okay.
Who said this? I ain't from
Okay.
Africa. I'm from St. Louis.
Me.
You from Benton Harbor, bro.
Now my dad from St. Louis.
And your dad did not say that.
Who did that? Was it Red Fox?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. See?
Absolutely, brother. Hey, man, this has been a blast.
Yeah, man. It's cool, man.
I appreciate you for taking the time out. I'm new at this talk show thing.
You're good, man.
I appreciate
good.
it.
I like your setup. I like what they did with you, man. There, that's cool, bro.
I appreciate you. And I also just, again, I mean, do you know who you are, bro? I mean, you don't have to just like take time out to just stop and.
This is me, man. That's who this is.
You really don't have to do that. And I'm just like way beyond honored that you would take the time, man. And I really appreciate it.
I'm just showing my real self to you, brother.
Yeah, well, from a lowdown. Oh, here's another quick question too before you leave. Who is the best unknown group of all time?
That's Tease.
Why'd I know you were gonna say that?
Tease.
The people don't know.
See, people don't know. Tease was equal to Confunction, Cameo, The Time, all that.
Wow.
All that. Look who came out of there. Look at all the brothers who came out of there. All y'all went on and did great things. Every last one of you.
Man.
For somebody to understand it, you should be in the group with Mick Edition, Tease, and Tony. But you was before them.
Well, yeah, this is
You
true.
was before them.
Yeah.
Think about it. You was before them.
This is true. Man, I appreciate you. I love you. You are my brother, my friend forever. Finish your tan out there on that nice sunny beach.
Man,
And,
so many bugs all around me, stuff, man, but I'm okay.
I really appreciate you, man, for coming and doing this
No,
for me. My
no,
mom
man,
says
and
to
I
tell you
hope
hello,
I
by the
hope-
way.
Tell your mama I said what's up, man. Tell your brother I said what's up, man.
Oh, I'm sure he's watching.
Man.
I'm sure he's watching. All right,
Yeah,
brother.
man. It's. I'm gonna just tell people you're such a talented cat. When I saw you sing, I said, "That's how I wish I could sing."
Well,
That's how I wish I could sing, brother.
man, I am here, and obviously now I owe you whatever you ask of me. I must be at your beck and call for you doing this for me.
I'm gonna have
man.
you lay tracks
I'm gonna have to do it.
for my trap album.
I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah,
That's
we don't need
just
a
it.
lot of singing. What? Woo! What? Woo! That's all we need. Some of that.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, Sinbad.
All
I
right, man.
appreciate you, brother. All
Stay
right.
up, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Stay strong.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you again for tuning in. This has been No Better with Kipper Jones. I have to thank the staff here at Status Network, Jack and Yannette. Thank you all so very much for allowing me to come in and do this and giving a singer and songwriter with a conscience an opportunity to use it. Thank you to my manager, Johnny Cornegay. You're out there somewhere no, actually, I know exactly where he is. He's in Chester, Pennsylvania. Thank you in your absence. I appreciate you for doing all you do. Thank you to The Voice, Mr. Reggie Prime. Thank you, David, for sharing me with the world. And thank all of you for tuning in. I hope that you take something away from this evening, something that made you more informed than you were when you tuned in. Remember the words of Dr. Maya Angelou. Do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. Knowing is hot. Listen, go to kipperjones.com. Don't forget you can still download the single I Want You for free if you'd like. Also, if you like the Know Better mug on the desk, you can get your own. Go to kipperjones.com and click on the Know Better Show tab. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Practice your physical distancing, but you don't have to be socially distant. Use your social media, use your tools, your platforms to keep in touch with everybody. But take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Until next time, God bless you, God keep you is my prayer.
The views and opinions expressed on Know Better are those of its host and guest and do not reflect those of the Status Network or any of its affiliates. Know Better with Kipper Jones is sponsored by Hinson Security Services. Protecting what you value most is what we do best.